sexual energy is the life force within us. The more that we are connected with our bodily sensation, and the more that we can access our authentic self, the more we can connect to our sexual expression. It's not necessarily about over-exaggerating our sexual energy rather than taking responsibility for it from a mature, wise being within us, from a mature man, from a mature woman who has come in peace in accepting their sexual energy. Sexual energy is about connecting to life and the expression of life within us, connecting with the innocence of life within us, the innocence that we felt as a little child, exploring our body and exploring our environment. For many of us who have experienced sexual abuse in our childhood, it's not easy to retrieve and reclaim all the sensations in our bodies. Often a part of us leaves us when we experience trauma, and with sexual trauma, a part of us gets numb and dissociated from the sensation. Often this dissociation is filled with shame and guilt because the little one feels she or he was responsible for experiencing the trauma. As a child, we're so connected to the flow of life, to our sexual essence that expresses itself to the innocence of being in our body fully. And the work of reclaiming the purity of our sexual energy and the innocence of our expression comes with finding that innocent child within and teaching her or him about forgiveness and the purity of love that can flow with forgiving. Connecting to our sexual energy is important and necessary. You might feel that's not part of your path. You might choose other way of ascension, other way of personal growth. However, working with your sexual energy brings about a new understanding of your core essence, sexual energy is an expression of life, and it's not separate from life. It gives birth to how you interact with your environment, how you perceive the world, how you take in the pain and pleasure, and to be able to fully connect and see and appreciate the world and find the beauty and abundance of life. You need to open up and claim what was once closed and lost. You need to find those places within you, in your sexual history, the memories that you remember and the one that you don't. And take responsibility for it all. One important piece of our sexual history is learning to claim it all and take ownership for everything. You are not the victim of your story. You are the writer of it. Even as a child, when you didn't have the means to defend yourself, to set your boundaries, and to learn to protect your true expression, you knew one day you will grow up, and one day you will be able to give birth to your authentic expression as an adult. And finding and connecting to that child within who knows what's innocence, who knows how important it is to just pause and smell a flower, to become excited about finding a feather on the ground, regardless of how perfect or imperfect it is. That child within you knows life and knows how to enjoy life by connecting to her sensations. And that is the fruit of forgiveness, the fruit of forgiving the wrongdoing in the past, taking responsibility for your parts in it, and giving birth to a life that is free from shame and guilt, giving birth to a life where you allow yourself to be with your sensations again, where you allow those parts who are lost or frozen to come out of hiding and engage with the beauty and abundance that life has to offer to you. You might find yourself gravitating towards being overly sensual and sexual, like a teenager who's exploring her sexuality. I want to invite you, if you are in that phase, or when you go into that phase, to remember sexuality is not separate from life. That you being present with your emotions and sensations allows you to fully connect with your sexual energy. That is the flow of life within you. is the fluid of life within you. And in that perspective, sexual energy doesn't become about how it looks like or is even perceived outwardly, rather than what you're inwardly embodying within yourself, how present you are with your sensations and your emotions. Forgiveness is the key for liberating, redeeming, and embodying the sexual energy that is your true expression. Forgiveness is the key of embracing and liberating the sexual energy within us. Forgiving the ones who trespass against us with their sexual energy. Forgiving ourselves for trespassing against others with our sexual energy. Forgiving and releasing all the layers of misunderstanding and mistruth about sexual energy. As human race, working with our sexual energy has been the focus of our studies throughout centuries. We all have served different purposes and different courses on both sides of a spectrum, harming others, harming ourselves, and betraying ourselves by carrying our sexual energy in the way that has been dominating, invasive, or misdirected towards others. Now is the time for us to come to an understanding of our sexual energy, to peel the layers off of what is not sexual energy, understand this potent force, and honor it. It is important for us to know we open up a magnificent portal with our sexual energy, and to hold respect for that portal that we open up each time we embrace our sexual energy and give it an expression. Hold your sexual energy with reverence and respect. Release the past. And allow yourself to embody the sexual energy, to allow the sexual energy be expressed throughout your body, like the flow of life. Let your heart guide the way. For there is no life without love. For there is no true expression without forgiveness. Let your heart guide the way in giving birth to your pure and true sexual impression.